The distress beacon had been broadcasting for 73 cycles. For Captain Trill and the remaining crew of the research vessel Nebula Seeker, hope dwindled with each passing day. Their ship, once a marvel of Galactic Alliance engineering, now drifted powerless in the void between systems, its main drive core irreparably damaged by an unexpected spatial anomaly. "Any response?" Trill asked, her translucent appendages fluttering with anxiety as she entered the communications bay. Officer Vex shook his head, antennae drooping. "Nothing yet, Captain, just empty space." The Nebula Seeker had been mapping uncharted regions along the Perseus Arm when disaster struck. Now they floated helplessly in an unfamiliar sector, far from established trade routes. Their emergency beacon broadcasted on all standard Alliance frequencies, but their location made rescue unlikely. "Life support is down to 28 cycles," Science Officer Mila reported, her scaled skin dull from stress and poor nutrition. "And food reserves are critical." Trill nodded grimly. The Alliance might eventually receive their signal, but not soon enough. Their only hope was that some passing trader might detect their beacon and divert course, a slim chance at best. On the 74th cycle, the sensors chimed. "Captain," Vex called, voice trembling with excitement. "I'm detecting approaching vessels." The bridge crew gathered around the flickering holographic display. Multiple signatures appeared, moving in perfect formation. "Alliance rescue?" Mila asked hopefully. Trill studied the readings. "No, wrong configuration. These aren't Alliance ships." "Pirates," someone whispered fearfully. "Unknown," Trill answered. "But they're responding to our beacon." As the mysterious fleet drew closer, the sensor readings became clearer. The approaching vessels were massive. Warships, not traders or rescue craft. Their design was unlike anything in Alliance databases. "They're hailing us," Vex announced. With no alternatives, Trill authorized communication. The main view screen flickered to life, revealing a sight that sent shivers through the alien crew. A bipedal being stared back at them. 2 arms, 2 legs, a single head with forward-facing eyes. Its skin was a pale pinkish brown, lacking scales. Chitin, or proper protective covering. The being wore some form of dark uniform with unfamiliar insignia. "Deathworlder," Mila breathed, her scientific detachment momentarily forgotten. Every spacefaring species knew of the Deathworlders, organisms evolved on planets with extreme gravity, atmospheric toxins, lethal radiation, and aggressive ecosystems. Planets where life was a constant battle for survival. These beings were the stuff of academic curiosity and frightening bedtime stories, not actual encounters. "This is Admiral Tom Reed of the United Earth Defense Fleet," the being spoke, its translator converting its harsh sounds into standard galactic. "We've received your distress signal. Stand by for boarding and assistance." The communication ended, leaving the crew in stunned silence. "Humans," Trill finally said. "I've read reports. Class 12 Deathworlders from a system called Sol. The Alliance has had limited contact. Should we let them board?" asked Vex nervously. Before Trill could answer, the sensors chimed again. The human ships had surrounded the Nebula Seeker in a defensive formation. "New contacts," Mila called out. "Multiple vessels approaching at high speed." The view screen shifted to show another fleet emerging from hyperspace. These ships Trill recognized, raiders from the Krell Dominion, a predatory civilization that prowled the galaxy's edges hunting weaker prey. They must have detected our beacon too, Trill realized with horror. The Krell were known for capturing alien ships, salvaging their technology and either enslaving or consuming their crews. The human admiral's face appeared on screen again. "Captain, be advised. Hostile forces detected. We are moving to intercept. Maintain your position and prepare for emergency evacuation once the threat is neutralized." Before Trill could respond, the human fleet broke formation, moving with startling speed and precision. The crew watched in awe as the Deathworlder ships engaged the Krell raiders. What followed was unlike any battle Trill had ever witnessed. The humans fought with terrifying efficiency, their ships performing maneuvers that seemed to defy physics. They didn't retreat when damaged. They pressed forward. They didn't hesitate when faced with superior numbers. They adapted. Where the Krell used predictable attack patterns, the humans employed strategies that seemed chaotic, yet were clearly coordinated. Their biology makes them resilient to G-forces we couldn't withstand, Mila observed, professional curiosity overcoming fear. And their neural processing must be optimized for combat scenarios. Within moments, half the Krell fleet was disabled or destroyed. The remaining raiders, facing unexpected resistance, attempted to retreat, but the human vessels pursued. Relentlessly, they're protecting us, Vex said, sounding bewildered. When the last Krell ship vanished into hyperspace, the human fleet resumed their protective formation around the Nebula Seeker. A smaller vessel detached from one of the larger ships and approached. Transport. Shuttle incoming, Vex reported. They're requesting docking permission. Trill hesitated only briefly before authorizing the dock. Whatever awaited them with these Deathworlders, it couldn't be worse than slow starvation or Krell captivity. The humans who boarded were surprisingly gentle, despite their intimidating physiology. Their leader, a female called Lieutenant Kate, moved with careful restraint as if constantly mindful of her species' natural strength. "We've brought medical supplies, food, and engineers to assess your ship," she explained. "Admiral Reed has authorized full assistance and escort to the nearest Alliance outpost." "Why help us?" Trill asked. "We're nothing to your people." The human smiled, revealing blunt teeth. "You sent a call for help. We answered. That's what humans do." Later, as the Nebula Seeker was being towed by one of the massive human vessels, Trill stood in her quarters, composing her report for Alliance headquarters. How could she explain that the fearsome Deathworlders, creatures evolved in conditions that would kill most sentient species, had risked their lives for unknown aliens? How could she convey that the most terrifying aspect of humans wasn't their physical capabilities, but their boundless empathy? They had hoped for rescue, not a Deathworlder Armada. What they received was something more valuable, the beginning of understanding between vastly different worlds. And perhaps, Trill thought as she watched the human ships through her viewport, the galaxy would never be quite the same again.